STK. I'm crossing my fingers that we don't get another Game 1 Erangel Military Island Circle. That's really all that I want to wait for.
Opinion from me. I don't know. I would like to end on a military base. As long as we don't end up with Gatka Fields, because Gatka Fields, I felt it's always that slowdown point where everybody lays down. We saw that one yesterday. I want to get something spicy to get the action going.
I don't appreciate the pro Gatka Field propaganda that was being put out on the broadcast yesterday. Like, I think we need to have a lot more nuanced discussion about how garbage Gatka Fields actually is. So we're going to have some talks amongst each other about our I guess, the opinions and points of view that we're putting out on broadcast. And, okay, there it is. Upside, it's not a Sosnovka.
Make that move back down next to 64 up. Greg Shot's in a little bit of trouble. He has a little bit of support from the high side hill that they were just at, but he is already down. And that's 64 up, just waiting, being patient. Good awareness. They probably heard the vehicles come down, and nobody on Fable really can do much work in return into taking. I like this. Make sure that they take that one little spot. They're going to get Honey Badger up into that point, but now the rest of the vehicles are committed along this path. Not a lot of follow-up damage coming through. Nobody's getting knocked out of the vehicle, so it looks like at least 3 are going to be able to pass through that point. But poor Voxic has been left behind and now has to run the gauntlet all by himself.
I wouldn't be too worried. You can see just how weak the sightline is because of all the trees and then all the levels in the cliffs. It's almost like a staircase coming down.
Figure out where are they going. If they venture too much further south, they're going to find themselves in some hazardous points, but do manage to find the one complex that's still open and available around their position.
It's good that it's safety, but it's not a good position in the circle because it's so close to the edge. Jay All Day actually getting a double for himself, and his
driving around in the distance. They're both teams stopping. This is going to be a 3-way fight fairly quickly. You can see Crawfresh already going down very quick. Going to be a nice reposition come out from Itchy Boy. No clean angle back over towards Los. Trying to see if maybe he can tap back over towards the headshot, but not going to be able to get it. Now Mitchy Boy realizing he might be in a little bit of a jeopardized position, wanting to try to retreat out of this, maybe use a little bit of distraction that's going off to the side. But yeah, the rest of the teammate says, nope, not worth. Get out of here. T8 bails out of the fight as well, so both teams retreat out, leaving Radiant to have control.
Where can they go, though? Because it looks like they want to go further.
Well, still driving around. They can't figure out where they're wanting to try to aggress into the circle at, but now they have to be careful because they have Fabled that's back behind them. There's not a lot of good options back over towards the east. We saw a lot of teams.
Is right now. Good shots from Kickstart to start it off. Can they get the knock? Roth, I think, is going to be there for the follow-up on the off angle. Yeah, Tier 8 weren't even there to try and defend him before they got the full kill. I think you should have played that a little more passively, peeking over the ridge, trying to find some information, but to extend as far as he did was very risky with the lack of backup, and now the rest of Tier 8, they're just going to have to force through. Beams now goes down. That's the second player lost to Mystery.
Yeah, this is starting to be very hazardous for all the teams. They're trying to move back over towards the east with the new circle popping right now. Yeah, it's going to condense back around really closer towards Zenith, putting them right on the edge. So a lot of these teams that are towards the south of their position can't really see it right now too much because it's underneath of the picture-in-picture. But we have about 3 teams that are stacking around the point and might try to aggress back along Zenith's pathing.
The opportunity. Wildcard know that they can just chill and wait and hang out.
I like going for the option, provide the cover fire, allow Purdy to roll back over towards, just do that slow crawl, try to get the res back up. They have the smokes down. Wildcard, are they going to choose to play this aggressive and step back out? It looks like they're far. Or do they just try to hop in the vehicle and send it away from this point while Wildcard is shooting you the whole time? See, way off in the distance, there's a little bit of support, but the longer this goes on, it's just going to be more and more problematic for shoot to kill.
At the same time, they can at least be rest assured that it's going to be problematic for Wildcard as well because neither of these squads is in this circle. And so in a way, Wildcard might just want to let Shoot to Kill bail. It's a good smoke that was tossed in on the ground floor, I believe, to allow Shoot to Kill to push forward. But no, I think STK want to go aggressive. They got that knock against Pentalol, but they're stalling out.
A lot of meds and utility being burned down. Meanwhile, other part of the map, back over towards the southeast, you're going to see it's going to be Radiance and Fabled finding themselves in a little bit of a contested point as Radiance trying to make their way up the hillside of Stolber. You can see it is a very chaotic position to try to play. Third-party shots coming in a tail side of Radiance, trying to figure out if they can get Batty Lol back up, but there's no clean pathing to work with.
The smoke's there to try to assist Batty Lol, but you said it, the shots from Comets coming out from Yasnaya. There's no cover that Radiance has to, I guess, break that line of sight. Hella, a little bit of an over peak. Victor steals Batty Lol, so that does mean that Radiance are now down to 3, Fable down to 2. Supernova looks like he wants to go aggressive, pushing through the smoke. Might actually catch Radiance off guard with this one.
Be careful, opting to play it back out in the blue, hoping the fact that Radiance might be looking back up the high side of the hill. Gonna get a couple of shots back over, but look at the spin coming out from the boys on Radiance, instantly getting the drop back over to him. Sure, one of the members from Radiance does go down, but that should be a quick res. A couple of shots coming in to provide a little bit more assistance. As you can see, it's getting very clustered over here. We've got Fable that does go down, but Zenith's still holding a point. Elusive just towards the northwest from this point as well. So Radiance just kind of clinging to life as the new circle has popped, and it continues to go towards the western slopes of Stolber.
Radiance are still in a lot of trouble. At least Yasnaya is out, and Comets have already dipped and bailed. Zenith, the question is, are they going to stay here and try and keep Radiance out? They might not actually know of Radiance's position. Over here in the blue, the fight has still been popping off between SDK and Wildcard. It is now it's a 1v1 versus Jazza. And who is that final member? Can't see on the minimap. It's going to be Uncivil.
Yeah, he was their anchor point way off in the distance that was trying to provide some support. So they're going to be out there just nomming on a whole bunch of blue zone for a while now. Zenith has opted to rotate with 3 of their members, leaving 1 back down around damage.
Civil.
Civ trying to go inside the vehicle, but finally Jazz is going to get him taken down, and that's going to be shoot to kill going out pretty early. Zenith's laid down a point right over here next to Elusive. Jay all day looking back towards this direction. This might be a nice trap as Leda can pull back up the hillside. His team can probably get a couple of shots back down towards it. And yep, GL Day has to be very careful. Tries to go around the side of it, but Leda finishes him off, and Elusive is eliminated.
Yeah, again, a good hold by Zenith. And we were, I guess, questioning their play yesterday. They seemed a little weaker, a little bit neutered, but they're starting to come alive again. And this is a Zenith that we've saw in weeks past that really put them up in contention into the top 5 position that they're at right now. And so hopefully they can continue that play throughout the rest of the day. I believe they're going to have Radiance approaching them soon. Comets aren't too far from that, but here is going to be the other I guess immigrants from Yasnaya, Snow Patrol, and 64 Up. And 64 Up have a good defensible position. That is, if they don't get caught out from anyone north of them. But I think an angle has already been found, and Hershey is going way aggressive.
I like this coming out from Snow Patrol. Be more aggressive early. You can see that they're fighting for their life, trying to get up in that top 16. Presently in 20th at this point. But good shots coming out from teammates. Sneak Attack's going to go ahead and hit a shot onto Broke Status to go ahead and get the drop onto him. So now it's going to be at least potentially 3 kills, but no! Getting spotted out. There's somebody hiding even further out in the blue, and that's kind of the nature of the beast that can happen around Stolber sometimes, specifically back down towards the south. Just to note, we have Sonics, we have Clueless, we have Snow Patrol, Comets, Zenith, 64 Up, and Jazza, the last member for Wildcard, all pushing into a similar point back down around the south. So that means the fact that third party is going to get fast and furious very quickly.
There's a reason why everyone is stuck here on the edge, because the center of the circle is so wide open. These rocks that Shrimsy is playing around is really the only playable area in the southwest corner. Tries to open up onto Clueless, doesn't find anything, but nades are raining down. The revive from Clueless does complete, but look at Mime up on the flank, finds Nitrogen, does get dropped.
Clueless trying to hold the top to the best of their abilities. Do have one of their members go down, but it's just bouncing down different points. You can see sending a couple of members back down, trying to get a little bit more damage on everybody that's trying to push back up the hillside. Now opting to go back over for the res. New circle has popped. It's pretty close to this location, but Sonics are not yet surrendering. They're continuing to try to climb up the hillside, but it's gonna cost them. Good shots coming up from Pistola Time, gonna take down Shrimsy, and Sonics go out in 10th.
With Carnage, and then, of course, Jazza that they might not even be aware of. D-Treats finds one onto Latest. That's 1 down for Zenith.
He's been holding down this position for a while Zenith was taking all those pot shots into the side of what was going on with Snow Patrol, Sonics, everything along those lines. See Clueless now looking back over towards Carnage. Carnage kind of creeped in from back over towards the west and has now gotten a high ground advantage onto him. So Clueless kind of had to pop the brakes for a second, but that could cost them dearly as there are multiple teams starting to come up back behind him. Luckily for Clueless, these are all weakened teams at this point. Mitchie Boy somehow just kind of sneaking by everything, goes right by Clueless as they're really caught up looking towards Carnage's position.
Yeah, this might be bad. Pistola dropping back down to the south. I was worried for a second to put him out in the open. Illusion does get annihilated by 303 up on the north side. And so I think that's going to give 303 a lot. It's in his name. It's in his name, and he's executing it. Mitchie goes down. Sneak attack needs to go big.
That's the problem right now. Carnage is now getting too much control over this high ground, and they're playing it aggressive. They're trying to rain down as much death and destruction as they can, but the return's going to come back out as Zenith is now taking the high ground shots from them. Now, you can see them quickly repositioning. Carnage now knows they're in a little bit of trouble. They've got Clueless down on one position. They've got Zenith off towards the side of them, but nobody still knows that Sneak Attack is patiently waiting. He's biding his time. He knows that he can undo a team if a fight does happen here. He just has to be careful.
As possible. Spots one, gets the knock. Good start.
Good play coming out from that. Quick reaction coming out from the rest of the members of Clueless as now they've managed. They know that there's an opening that they can try to exploit. Pistola Time's trying to get in as much work, but he knows if he goes down here, the side flank is going to collapse. His teammates are going to be in trouble. It's his job to be the distraction, and by God, he's an amazing one. They managed to get all the way up above him. Dre's now completely surrounded. Good plays coming out from Clueless.
They just, every single time you think that they lack an advantage, whether it's in terms of firepower of the actual team, in terms of Sonics, or even coming up from the low ground, this is almost a completely different Clueless. However, can Sneak Attack make a big moment out of this? Can Jazza make a big moment out of this? Zenith is going loud on the east side, just taking out Tactical 8.
Roll over the eastern part of the circle. T8 trying to flank around into the position. Looks like Landoon has spotted him out. Gonna find himself in a little bit of a hazardous spot as Grizzly has nowhere to go from this point. He's got two different points of attack that could be coming his way. Unless he can get one of these down, does manage to dodge out the Molotov, but it's not going to matter in the end. Zenith still holding up this high ground point. Now has to be very cautious as they could look back down, rain a little bit of damage on
of the zone. Kickstart going down is not going to help them either. Nitrogen with the full kill onto that.
Zenith is in a little bit of trouble. Clueless is starting to get aggressive back towards their positioning as well. Roth playing high up onto this point along with Mystery, trying to get as much damage, knocks, anything that they can, but they have to be so cautious off to the side of it. Going to be Nitrogen playing low, trying to see if maybe he can get a little bit of assistance up. He does have to worry about it. He does go down. Honey Badger does connect with a shot over towards him. But 20 FPS should be able to get the res. The last member of Snow Patrol also did go down, allowing for Jazza having to leave the safety of his rock. Luckily, you're going to see Clueless taking a couple of shots back over towards 303, but looks like Nitrogen's going to regret that one real quick. 303 spins back around onto it, but the aggression coming out, trying to move back over into Roth's positioning, means that Clueless has to be very careful as now they found themselves pincered between two different points. They were the original aggressors onto this, but with that, they've now found themselves too many different points, too much of a chance for a third party, and now it's starting to come apart for them, and they have to be very careful. Roth has a clean sight line back down towards them, and Clueless is going to go back out in fourth.
It was actually 303 that helped Zenith out tremendously here.
Now might be able to get something. Oh, nope, never mind. I'm going to take that one back. Looks like Landoon has managed to spot him. That turns this into a clean 4v2, and you can see 303 knows it. D-Rich playing the high side, trying to creep up this hill, getting a little bit of damage, but not enough to get a knock. He's having to hold the line all by himself. He does go down, but he can at least feed the information, saying, I know where the last two guys are. Honey Badger moving forward, trying to get the grenade into range. Going to be hard to throw it uphill, but does manage to get a lot of damage back over towards Roth. Everybody is clinging to the hillsides, the trees. There's right along this open part of the hill, and there is not a lot to work with.
It's a 2v2. Zenith are actually able to make this into a 2v2, and now that Vox is finished, that's a secured kill. So if anything, Zenith have picked up a whole lot of points. Mystery finds another one onto Landoon. Or Zenith actually stealing this away from 303.
Look at the push coming up. Mystery's got the angle back over towards him. Honey Badger does connect, turning this into a 1v1. Roth's got the high side, looking back over towards Honey Badger, who has a tree. Honey Badger hits the shot. He so needed that. That's going to make it 303 with the win. 8 kills to stack it up.
Ooh, they all like a chorus circle because I feel like the only alternative is going to be a military island circle, which I think is fine now. As long as we don't open up with one, it's okay. But I also think a couple of teams are sick of those circles. But 4 teams on Sosnovka Island, maybe those guys are placing their bets.
That feels like a safety play. Saying, okay, all right. With this plain path, good chance it could go back down towards military. Let's just go ahead and firm regroup here. And it's a lot of our teams that are really on the hunt for more kills, more points. Illusion,
True.
T8, Snow Patrol, Fable, all of them are set up taking a little bit of a gamble because with this many people on military base, if they have to leave, it could be a problem.
Okay, for Circle, it's not going to be a military base. That's 2 in a row. I think that's
no surprise going a little bit wild, trying to hit everybody on elusive as they're rotating through. Meanwhile, Sonics, they had themselves a rough start in that last game and almost put themselves in a dangerous position. It's going to be H-Win that drives up. But look at that. Shrimzy comes in with a little bit of assistance off in the distance, and I was almost hoping that H-Win might just decide to run up there and maybe try to run over, but nah. They're just going to be happy to get their complex. Meanwhile, back over to the wildcard and elusive thing. It looks like wildcard's driving around the Badlands, trying to get a little bit tricksy with it. Jay all day was expecting it, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Jay takes a ton of damage. There's another wildcard member back behind him, and that's a good as 1 point delivered to wildcard.
Oh, JRJ almost had a really nice drop onto wildcard, but now that he is taken out, they can just retreat from the compound angle that the rest of elusive has. I believe that's innate there, just to the south. Yeah, it's T-Suck and...
They now went back, recrossing the eastern bridge, but now it's starting to pop off just a touch as Weem does get spotted out as Illusion's rolling through. And you can see that there are a ton of teams that are going to be driving along this path. Yes, run him over! I love it. Good play coming out from Ranger. Going ahead, secure that kill up.
Steezy
this. Don't forget T8's also in a position for it, so this could get messy quickly as, yeah, Mitchie Boy has an easy shot right into the backside, and it's just Snow Patrol raining death and destruction on top of Illusion, even taking out their tires. I love it. Just deny everything from them.
You just got to kick them while they're down. And yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, Illusion...
Oh no!
They were so focused on seeing if anyone was scouting out the top of the bridge that they just were completely ignorant.
Illusion sent it across the bridge.
They
just tried to roll through,
and
now they've run into Fabled, and they just get destroyed trying to make their way through here. That is just a mess, and you can see this is all just a mess. That means that one of these teams might opt into playing. They could just kind of drive, honk their horns at each other, but it could be a problem for both of these teams as they're going to hit the bridge at almost the exact same time. And yeah, it looks like Snow Patrol knows what's up. It's going to be Beams that's kind of leading the way for T8 right now, not the cleanest sightlines. Meanwhile, Sonics
approached by Sonics, even though Liberate started off the fight with the knock, they get the trade, and then they're wrapping around. Good old lobster pincer. Shrimzy finds at it. Mime also goes down. But a good trade by Shrimzy. He's really coming big, but Alo from the north is going to make this a lot more difficult.
It's just clinical at this point. 64 up. Here's what's going on. Clueless is over there playing that dip. Takes a couple of shots at 64 up. They're in a little bit of trouble. So it looks like they're going to reposition
they're
back
going
over
in
here. They're just going to crash the complex. They're rolling up on the other side of this. Third-party shots are coming in. So this is turning into a fiesta real fast. Shrimzy's the last one up for his team. This is a team that was aiming, trying to go for number one, and Sonic's now in a lot of trouble. He's just clinging to life on the outside of this, and 64 up just rolls in and says, thank you for all the hard work everybody's been put in here. We'll just go ahead and finish off Liberate. Now it's all just on Shrimzy. He's the last one alive, and you know it's got to be nerve-wracking. He knows Clueless is back behind him. He knows another team just rolled up. He doesn't even have a building that he's playing. He's just on the outside waiting to see if somebody steps through. He can hear the footsteps, and that's kind of what he's using for all of his information right now. A wall separating out where 64 up is presently playing at. Is 64 up going to assume that they got everything out of this, that maybe all the Sonics had already died? Or are they going to play this a little bit more defensive? They're going full on looting right now, but Shrimzy can't make the risk of going for any type of play. He's just going to sit back and hear all of this happening, and 64 up is going to be an even tougher opponent now that they have more tools to work with.
He really is trapped in this.
So he knows that he has a squad right next to him. He knows that Clueless is back behind this. He knows that there's been multiple shots coming in from a third-party point, and he just has to hunker down. Finally stepping around the corner, gonna take a couple of shots. So that's gonna be quick pickup and flush, but now he knows it's gonna be a ton of people coming after him. Quick do-si-do around the outside of this, gonna go ahead and try to get a little bit more meds, a little bit more time. Know somebody's gonna be coming around back from the point he was just playing at. It's gonna be points on two different aggression, doesn't have anywhere he can go. Quick pincer, gonna go ahead and be good plays coming up from 64 up, but guess who hears this? It's going to be Clueless. They might opt into making a play because they are just on foot, and you can see it's going to be Comets that are taking the shots on the side of them. Going to go ahead and try to pick up a couple of...
Climb their way into the top 16. They want to go big, and if you're going to go out, you better go out swinging. Molly's come in. Dirty Zin is safe for now. These are going to drop an underhanded defensive frag grenade, but Nitrogen gets popped off by Purdy Curdy. Again, SDK, they're just trying to third-party this as long as they can. This is going to force Clueless to go even more aggressive. Finds a shoulder. Pistola finds one.
big plays coming out from Stolt Time. Trying to find the angle back over through this. Has to be very careful. Going to have a little bit of an issue on the other side of it as 64 up is managing to take down most of his other members. He's now all by his lonesome. Only one kill coming out for the play, but gets back over towards it. Does get the knock. Repositions on the outside of this. Does come across the crate. Drops back down. Dirty Zin's going to walk back up behind him and quick pickup. Should be able to go run back over there and get the res, but these guys are going to have to move fast. As you can see, it's still raining death. They opt into going back into the...
Putting themselves in a more central position. Sharp shot wild card with an even more central spot, holding that down, dropping Vox. Can they get the full kill?
Oh, it's going to be close if they can get the res. D-Rich just narrowly misses it. Oh, Landoon goes down as well. That's kind of the risk whenever you play the Badlands. You know you're in some trouble, and now D-Rich, you don't have a lot of tools utility to work with. Teams are firmly entrenched, and no, doesn't even get the res. It's taken from him by McCoy. D-Rich, what are you going to do from here? His vehicle is kind of left out in the open. That means the fact that it could have shots hit it in.
To here. The shots are coming out, so they definitely have the info.
I like the idea. Oh, look at that. Civ with a nice shot. Going to go ahead and drop him down to 1. She's just going to have to roll by that and say, there's nothing I can do for you, but that puts him right in the sight lines of Comets. So now he's just going to have to roll into a very dangerous position as well. He's just going to get spotted out, and it's going to be a double tap coming through just to give him a vehicle explosion and send his car cascading into the hillside.
Now the Comets here. They've only been getting closer and closer to Fabled. But I think Fabled have a couple of attackers from the east side.
Radiance, yeah.
It's Radiance. Fabled are caught between 2 separate squads, and they don't have a lot of cover. If Comets, they hear this. They want to go aggressive and see if they can't catch a couple of tasty points for themselves.
Comets do have the hillside to work with. Fabled has to play this very carefully. Radiance trying to step away from this fight, but Fabled hasn't really had the time to go ahead, get the res back over just quite yet. They know that they're going to have to move, and good shots coming out in distance going to be Pentalol just to say, nope, you don't even get that res. I'm just going to go ahead and flush it out. Comets in that mark. I think that Fabled has an idea that maybe Comets was approaching. Yeah, Tanaka looks back that direction, but Tanaka still has to crawl forward just a little bit more. Radiance trying to make their push up and forward is going to find themselves in a little bit more of a difficult spot as almost everybody is playing back over towards the east in the circle.
It's going to be Tactical 8 going out in 11th. There's a lot of fighting happening on the northeastern side. Comets are isolated from all of that. That's going to give them a lot of space, but you can see the big wide open field that they have to cross to STK. We already saw 64 up try, and they weren't too successful with that. And the Ruins can hold a lot of teams. Zenith are here first, but Wildcard trying to hold them down, hold them out, as well as Radiance from the east side. Radiance are just trying to third-party every fight here that our observers go to, it feels like.
2 members now down for Zenith. Radiance trying to creep back along this. They have their opportunity. They're just going to go ahead and foot rush it. Try to make the hard push as quick as they can. Roth is trying to defend the line. Takes a lot of damage, but does manage to survive. But he's going to have to run Ruins right now. We'll see how the new circle pops. It chooses to stay around there as well, giving Shoot to Kill a good position to play from, as well as Wildcard. Zenith just has to be careful about this push coming up from Radiance, instead opting to go ahead and give them that opening section. Let them go ahead and get a little bit of a foothold into this, and instead opting to defend a little bit further towards the west.
I like this. Zenith are forcing Radiance to have to come through a choke if they want to go that aggressive. But unfortunately, Keenan has an angle to sort of punish that, which means that Zenith still don't have a strong position. The nade's going to knock Leda, and I don't know how strongly Zenith can respond. You can already see them backing away. Mystery might be able to find the revive.
And they have a lot of control back over towards the north. Radiance is kind of creeping along a path that might be able to do a little bit for them, but that's going to be about it. Snow Patrol does lose 1 as well. Mitchie Boy kind of caught out in the open. You're just kind of clinging to a tree for life right now. That's not a good position to play from. But he does have a teammate that might be able to provide a little bit of support. He's just trying to fight his way out of here, maybe get elusive to look another direction. Trying to step away from this. He's out inside the blue. He's going to take a ton of damage. Trying to jump in, but not going to get it. Was reinforcements coming in, but now you can see Snow Patrol in a doubly bad spot as one of their members goes down to the blue, and the next one now trapped on another tree, having to figure out how he wants to move forward. Instead, just running along the blue, trying to see if maybe he can get any shots into it. Fizzle doesn't have the sightline for it, so instead going to run right up along T-Sock, who does manage to take him down, and Snow Patrol goes down to 9th.
Zenith up here. They haven't moved.
Have to defend this line. They cannot let Radiant sneak up back behind them, and Carnage is using this opportunity to try to get into a potential gatekeeping position. Now it's all onto Radiance. Can they breach this point? Can they find some type of angles? Roth is going to take a couple of third-party shots in the back and force him to have to step away from this point. That might be an opportunity for Radiance to slow creep forward using smokes, blocking out those sight lines. Got to be careful. Molotov's going to land right at Waldo's feet. That's going to stall them, and every bit that you can stall Radiance right now is going to be a potential chance for more blue damage. It's going to force them to slow down, have to play this more casually. Now they're starting to have to get to a point where they're going to have to be aggressive. Roth is holding that outside wall. It's going to be walking right into it. It's going to be McCoy that goes down. Kickstart also playing along that path. Multiple members of Radiance going down, and the trap is sprung. Good play coming out from Zenith. Now they have a chance to get the reses back up, but they're going to have to move in just a second. This blue is coming in fast. I don't even think that they've got the time for it.
They don't have the time for Roth. They might not even have the time for Mystery, and it doesn't even matter because Wildcard are going to be waiting for them to leave. They know that they're about to run into a meat grinder. There it is. First shots come out from Sharpshot. Laid a prone down first aid kit, but he's only delaying the inevitable. Hopefully Carnage can start something, but I think Carnage are beaming in onto Zenith as well. It's just Leda standing, and he's not going to go any further.
There's nowhere for him to go. He's got Wildcard on one side. He's got no way to climb up. He's just going to go down to the blue, so does at least manage to inflict a little bit of damage back over towards Carnage. Now the question comes into play is what to play. Are they going to step up over into it? Good grenade's going to knock it. Gonna get a follow-up grenade onto it. This is the time to pounce if Wildcard's gonna do it. They're sitting on 7 kills. They know they've got the opportunity in front of them, and they are just dismantling Carnage. They're gonna have the inside track on positioning. They're gonna have the high sight lines. They're gonna have everything they want as Carnage just instantly drops off of this, and now almost everything to the east belongs to Wildcard Gaming. Wildcard. If you take a shot at Wildcard, they spin back around real fast. I was going to say, yeah, the moment Tanaka pulled that trigger, it was just a quick, nope, I'm not going to let that one happen. And now it's just going to be a full-on open area to the east that Wildcard has control over. Comets do have back over towards the west, but they have to be very careful as it's very open in front of them. Shoot to kill, having the few defensive points to play that really could provide.
Can get up into the building, but I don't think it's going to work out too well for them.
Tries to go for it, and that's a quick nope coming out from Shoot to Kill. Pentalol tries to go for the play, but got to be careful as Comets hears this. Yaxley's going for reposition off to the side of it. Victor could come up right back behind Wildcard, and they have to be cautious. Shoot to Kill might not give them the chance, though. They are just raining death and destruction right on top of Wildcard. Only one member is still alive, and it's going to be Sharpshot, and he is just caught in the middle of the smokes. Not a lot of territory to work with, so Comets starting to realize, hey, there's not a lot to be done over there anymore. Let's just retreat away from it, and Shoot to Kill finishes it off. Drops us down to 2 teams, 8 alive. It is a solid 4v4 with Comets playing the hill and Shoot to Kill. So now Comets have to figure out how are they going to aggress. Luke gets the shots back over towards D-Treats. One member already down, but a lot of smokes being thrown back over towards Shoot to Kill's position. Like the fact that Purdy is just opting to play it brave. Move a little bit more into control. Play towards the smokes. See if maybe they can get some angles back. See if maybe they can catch somebody that might be aggressing inside the smokes. Don't allow that to happen. And now with this, Shoot to Kill is starting to get more control back towards this center point where everything's going to be condensing down to. Comets still being forced to play back over towards the edge could have a problem waiting for them in Purdy Curdy's positioning right now, as everybody else from Shoot to Kill is just waiting to see what information Purdy Curdy can relay back over. Victor's kind of on the other side of this, playing that same role that Purdy Curdy would be playing, but he's a little bit closer to the blue, waiting to see if anybody's going to take any shots. Luke goes ahead and gets the drop back over towards D-Treats yet again, but nobody on Comets can really step up. They're just kind of laying back down, seeing if they can get any vision, but Shoot to Kill starting to get a little bit more active, moving back along the side of the circle, slowly creeping back down into it. That's going to be another knock and another one to follow it up. This is turning into trouble for Comets. They've only got one up and moving, and there is a lot of Shoot to Kill just coming after him right now. It's only a matter of time before it connects. 10 kills coming up for Shoot to Kill. Nice, good job on the victory. It's no surprise at all. Snow Patrol looks like they're going to opt back down towards military base yet again.
Yep, I mean they're the team that loots there every single time, and no surprise with this playing path that they're not going to be contested as much as we saw last game. This is basically the exact same starting playing path from game number 1. And I'm curious that we see 64 up. I don't think we saw them go towards Zarki on the first game. If I remember correctly, Illusion was a little bit isolated on their own in Stalber or in Severny.
Yeah, and so, new circle pops, and it looks like it's going to go back over towards Shoot to Kill's hometown of Georgia Pool. Going to have the bait in effect. Also, those fields back down around Gatka that I love so much.
Please stop. I know you're doing it on purpose, and I'm not going to take the bait, but this is actually a very, very interesting circle because there's the river in play from Georgia Pool. There's the whole Georgia Pool Gulf, I guess, bay. Okay, cool. I think it's more they just didn't get punished because the Comets were also trying to move and trying to get into the circle, so they don't want to commit too heavily to that compound.
That's the logical thing, but that's the
logical response.
Also, shoot
as he can. Luckily, Fabled are a little slow on the full approach. That's going to give Tactical 8 a little bit of time to reposition, but the circle has moved. Does this change either Fabled or Tactical 8's plan? But no, Fabled want this fight. Hella finds one.
Fabled actually ran up, got these complexes, got firmly defended, then stepped out, started going after the member of T8 that was on top of the roof. T8 just kind of surrendered this with their split and not regrouping fast enough. Now Steezy's trying to play a tricksy little angle, seeing if maybe he can spot one out, but I think he got spotted as well as there's a little bit of juke back and forth, trying to go for a peek on it. Steezy does connect with a beautiful spray back over towards this, but now he has to be very careful. Guess what? There's another contender that's starting to approach back behind that, and that's going to be Zenith. You can see him. They heard this firefight, and they want to get involved. They want a third party. They take out William from behind, and so now Fabled using this opportunity to get a little bit more aggressive. Here's the grenade pull, steps right up into it, trying to get it finished out, and it's just a run from room to room. Lost him. The door closes in front of him. Greg should have an idea on where it's at. Easy pickup, and T8 goes down in 16th.
The fact that Tactical 8 allowed Fable to get those first frags, especially...
You get right up next to Everest and pray that the people that are playing up on top of it can't look down and get vision. And that's why you can see Clueless, 20 FPS, constantly glancing up there, seeing if Shoot to Kill is going to get into a position for it. But he's got himself a nice little rock, a little peekaboo battle. Good shot to go ahead. Same spot after taking a couple of shots and realizing, hey, maybe we can take down Fabled as well. So you're going to see that popping off inside the kill feed as Tanaka does get spotted out. Supernova's already down. Zenith sitting on 3 kills right now, and Greg Shot finding himself in a little bit of trouble. Hella is still up for the team, but Kick starts playing way out in the distance on this, so if anybody leaves their buildings, he has got a waiting angle to catch them. Zenith now firm control off of this position, and it's really just about what can Hella and Greg Shot do in a close-range battle.
I don't know what Hella's doing. She's just waiting for someone to come aggressive onto her position, which I don't think is the correct way to play, especially when you're only down to 3 members? 2 heavy on the north. He's isolated, and Zenith is just rushing forward. Luckily, they don't check. Okay, they check her corner. She finds one, but Leda is going to drop her in return. So only gets one. I don't think that's enough for the rest of her team to make anything of this engagement.
Nice little bit of a bait there. Tries to get a little bit more damage. Greg Shot, if you had an opportunity, it's whenever there. If you're playing close and you're playing for breach, that's where the problem's coming to play. You managed to get one of them, but doesn't manage to get any more. So that's going to be more kills. Stack it up for Zenith.
Yeah, 6 right now. They have 1 player downed. That's going to be an easy revive for them, and it's a good start.
Patrick,
but they are still on the back foot in terms of resources because those engagements. Patrick and the Clueless have been trying to approach SDK's position this whole time. And they do carve out a little piece from this elf. You can see on the minimap in the southwest corner.
Going to opt into playing this out and really flush Sonics out of this position. You can see Profi, H1 thinking, hey, maybe it might not be worth it. Instead, let's just go ahead and play back along these dips in the hillside.
Yeah, I think when he saw multiple heads on his final peak, he realized, no, okay, they're actually not in a fight anymore. This is not something that we want to take voluntarily right now. And so he's going to back off and just hold his split with the rest of his squad, which I think is ultimately the right play. Jazza finds a
303 is just rolling right around where Comets are playing. They're going to go ahead and lose land due to that, but it looks like 303 might say, okay, it's Comets. Let's see if we can make a play onto it. The problem is the rest of Comets aren't playing from this point, so Sub-Zero has to defend this by himself. You can see reinforcements in vehicles starting to roll up, seeing if maybe they can get a little bit of help in this, but they have a safe approach vector that they can work with. The problem is Carnage now also. You made the right call. You at least have a foothold to work with, and everybody is going to come rushing into it is the problem. You got to firmly defend up. Shoot to Kill can't protect you on all those different angles. And looks like Delta says, hey, I have the tools to maybe make my way up this hillside. So while everybody's rotating, maybe I can get something. But I was going to say, it might be a little bit too risky. You guys need to defend those footholds because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to take them away from you.
I feel like this is going to be a tower defense game for Shoot to Kill. Because they're going to have all of these ravenous zombies surrounding their location. They're just trying to shoot off from multiple angles like Doom Guy on top of them. The mountain of demons.
Well, I mean, it's about to be the ultimate battle of King of the Hill, and Shoot to Kill's got the top of it right now. Zenith and Radiance have kind of bumped into each other back over towards the northeast. They're getting caught up in a little bit of a fight. Zenith's trying to hold this out. Sonics do have a sight line away from this. Retreats about away from what's going on with Shoot to Kill. Back over towards the west, though, it's about to get messy as everybody is collapsing to that point where we saw Carnage run to. I think 3 different teams all running along that point. Everybody is just collapsing, and Shoot to Kill is literally shooting like fish at a barrel right now, looking down the hillside, raining all kinds of death. Elusive crashed into this point. We can see that Carnage was there. We got Comets hanging out back around this point. 64 up and Illusion are just watching everything come apart. 7 kills right now for Shoot to Kill, and there's plenty more targets down below him as he just beads in on a dead body. Why not? I mean, this is starting to feel very, very hazardous for every team that has to contend with Shoot to Kill's high ground advantage.
Yeah, because if you want to defend against high ground, your attention is pulled away from all the other teams immediately around you. But if you try and fight on the ground floor with the teams like right next to you, Shoot to Kill going to peek you from above. Having 7 kills this early on is what you expect from a team that fights super early, but SC haven't been doing that. They've just been defending their position.
They're trying to get into that top 16 positions, so they might have an opportunity depending on how this all plays out. Carnage and Comet still being unlikely neighbors and not too happy about it. Just throwing a couple of, throwing litter at each other at this point, just throwing over a couple of grenades and whatnot, not connecting onto any tip that Carnage has been playing at. Snow Patrol, Radiance, and Sonics have all collapsed back over towards the eastern part of Everest. You can see Sonics trying to run back up, provide a little bit of reinforcements for the fight that's happening with Radiance from this point, and it's starting to turn a little bit problematic as nobody can really help and assist in any form and factor. But here comes Mime. Mime has the tool to clean out a team that's firmly entrenched. He can just run right up on top of this. We can see Radiance starting to get a little bit more aggressive for it, but now the bullets are starting to fly. Mime's trying to creep back over. He's got Shrimsy on the side of him. That's one of them down. Waldo's still playing up towards the top, but he has to be worried about Snow Patrol throwing out long-range grenades. Good toss.
Boy.
Big plays coming up from Waldo, and that's going to give him a little bit more breathing room, but has the damage been done? Mime has to turn back around, get Shrimsy up. Waldo at least has him.
They would get deleted by everyone else around them, so I'm not surprised to see them play it so safe. I like the fact that Waldo went to go pick up McCoy as well instead of going aggressive. I don't think he would have had the angle, and I'm assuming that he's also out of grenades. But now that Shrimsy is up, can Mime continue his hero push? He's
over towards the eastern position from Carnage. The problem with it is now they're starting to get harassed on 2 different points, and you can see that's the problem for Carnage. You've just got too many people around you, and a big play coming out from Comets opting to come right back up behind him, getting assistance from Shoot to Kill. The problem now is for Comets, they've taken a little bit of damage off this spot. New circle pops, and it's going to be right on Shoot to Kill's point inside of Everest. So now the true test of metal comes up. How well are you at fighting and climbing and jumping as you go? Uh-oh, that's big. Wildcard Spintelol does manage to get a shot back over towards Luke 12. Civ does have an angle onto Wildcard from the side of it, trying to harass a little bit more damage. But there's about to be 3 to 4 teams that might all try to path along a similar point here. Shoot to Kill's defenses starting to weaken with Luke 12 going down. That means that Purdy Kurt is having to defend this by himself. And he goes for res onto this. He can find himself in a lot of trouble trying to get the spray back over towards it, but not going to connect. Instead, going for the Molotov. I love it. Is it going to connect as the toss does go out? It is going to go ahead and flush out one, but here comes Wildcard, aware of where Liberate is playing, making the run up right up on top of Guab. Can Guab hold the line? And it's not going to last for too long. That's just too many Wildcard members making the push. Now, with that breach open, guess what? The path maybe to creep up into Shoot to Kill's position is open. Shoot to Kill is aware of this. They know that they've got to get the res. That means that Purdy has to leave his defensive point to come back over here and try to go for it. The other members of Shoot to Kill don't have the cleanest sight lines. That's going to allow Wildcard to
right now. Wildcard getting closer and closer. They were able to get the revive, but Petrolol getting the knock against Purdy. Are they aware of Luke's close forward position?
Wildcard getting more aggressive. Remember, Shoot to Kill they had damage helmets, damage armor. They've been having to fight for a long time. Throwables are now starting to come in, landing right on top of Shoot to Kill, but not going to connect with Purdy Curdy. He is still up and alive. So a chance for a potential res. The problem with it is this is starting to be a big distraction. Shoot to Kill is having to send all of their defensive line, all of their attention back over towards Wildcard, and that's starting to open up on the other side of Sonics and Snow Patrol are getting caught up in the fight. Good shots coming up from Civ. Going to go ahead and get the knock onto Sharp Shot. Now it's a little bit of an exchange back and forth. Can we see Wildcard start to get this aggressive? Keenan thinks that he might have the option. Instead, decides to creep back down. Go for the res. Pump the brakes just a little bit. They've got the foothold position to play from. So with this, Alo has to be careful every
position. Uncivil holding the line to allow the revive without the push from Sharp Shot. stopping it. And they're still S4. They're still up S4. They probably have 0 helmets, 0 vests.
For both of these teams, though, as with the repeat reses constantly coming in, that means that they're going to bleed out faster and have less armor, less utility. And Mime, oh my God, Mime has the tools to do so much work on this. Remember, we saw him a second ago. Oh, well, apparently he decided to drop it, passed it back over behind him. But he's going to be able to aggress into a very interesting spot and might be able to attack. Shrimsy still playing back down to the low ground.
Yeah, Sonics want to keep control of, I guess, what's the center of the circle and wait for STK, or at least the survivors of STK versus Wildcard come to them. But Comets, they're not in the center, so they're going to try and push up the hill and take care of everyone else on the west side. But Keenan, they don't. Wildcard might not want to be pushing on STK anymore, and you can see them falling back from the top of the hill. They should be able to spot Comets momentarily. D-Treats goes down. Oh, well, okay. Not as easy as I thought, but they're still able to make it.
Well, Shoot to Kill still having to contend with what's going on the other side. So this is the opportunity that they cannot grab a hold of. I don't know if they're aware of where...
Plus is aware of it, so that's why they're being super sensitive peeking these corners. They find Sneak Attack. They should know right now that it's pretty safe on the south side. And Shrimsy goes down to Sharp Shot. This could be really bad for Sonics. Wildcard making it closer and closer. Shoot to Kill.
Wildcard trying to aggress a little bit further forward. Mime is still the threat looming on the horizon for Shoot to Kill. They had a great last game. They're wanting to pick up another win. Wildcard always bloodthirsty, always wanting to get more out of it. But are we finally going to see somebody maybe make their play back over towards Mime? Because that could be the moment. If Wildcard sees a single person in the kill feed from Shoot to Kill go down, they're going to make their play. Jazz has to be careful. He steps out inside the blue, but it's going to be constant pushing. They're jumping along the hillside like mountain goats. Steps up, gets the pop onto one of them, but it's exchange. One member down on both sides. It's starting to come apart. Shoot to Kill gets quickly eliminated. Mine pops up back behind it. Molotov's now coming out on the other side of this. He now knows he has an angle. Looks back over towards Wildcard's position. Gets one of them. Can he turn this around? Can he get the upset? He is just walking away with this one right now. He is doing so much work on both these teams. Sharp Shot can't go for the play onto it. Gets the shot! And Sonics walks away with 12 kills in what nobody would expect. Mime makes his candidacy.
And joining me once again, as always, my bestie, hetero life mate, Hypoc. How are you doing, sir? We've seen all of our Angle games today. Pretty much everything seems sorted almost at this point, but there's still kind of a few things left to fight for.
I mean, the eyes are obviously drawn towards that cutoff point now, and I mean the guys on the desk have just pretty much nailed on the head there. We're looking at Comets, we're looking at Snow Patrol. Dodge, unfortunately, obviously one of the teams that's kind of slipped now, but there's still a lot to play for. Obviously, the guys at the top, they're playing for bragging rights, the title of best in NA currently, and a difference of $1,000, a couple of $100 each. But I guess that title, that's the bigger prize to take home in my eyes. Is saying you've come out of this stage as number one.
Absolutely, I think you and I both, I mean, we've been hanging out over in the quote-unquote green room. Jazza just holding down the shack. The Molotov's going to come in, but it's going to be a little bit late. Hershey,
oh, Jazza.
Jazza with the two-piece is going to find two right off the bat. Now it's just Sneak Attack and Crawfish. They're hiding in the top of this compound. This compound, though, pretty difficult to push. But Wildcard, they've got support now. All four members here. And Snow Patrol, we may have cast or cursed you.
Yeah,
that was a nice nade on Keenan. Yeah, this is going to be a tough push, but now the Wildcard's got all four here. Unless they just absolutely throw this thing over the mountain like Uncle Rico, they should have this. Crawford's going to find one, but immediately get traded out by Keenan. Sneak Attack. Let's see if he can maybe pull off something. Nope, that's going to be it. That is not what Snow Patrol needed. They are, yeah, as you said, I mean, you see sitting in 19th with 107, chasing 125. They got one.
Coming straight down the Picardo Highway out to the north. And here you go now. Delta getting the first tag onto later.
Okay.
Oh.
Delta going to find the down, and that's exactly what Carnage needed here. As you mentioned, Mystery all the way out in Bendita Crater. Hopped in the vehicle. Looked like he might have been heading over this way. But they put the brakes on that thing.
I mean, other than that straight team fight, relatively quiet start. Obviously, these these central circles, there's not an awful lot going to be happening early on, but I mean, I'm surprised to see as many down as we have, to be honest, in the 10 minutes. Maybe just some YOLO sends going on.
Ooh, okay, Fizzle. That's gonna tell Shrimsy you can't peek that anymore. Go ahead, yeah, go hide up in the stairwell. Get your heel on, brother. You don't want to re-peek that. Now, Sonic's in a 2-2 split in the center of this circle. They've got STK just off to the east in Graveyard, and Hills kind of overlooking. You can see Mime and Profi looking down onto Picado below. Liberate, all four inside the gas station L Hotel. And if you
actually know if this one can go west, I didn't get a good look at the map there, but we are on a 50-50 here. The rocks along the power grid plateau, I guess, are the dead
west. They'll be covered. But meanwhile, a lot of teams trying to make their way in. 303 just going to make their way past Team Clueless. They're going to go up to the power grid. They'll have the westernmost edge of this circle to themselves. So if it does cut west, they'll be feeling pretty okay about things. Meanwhile, off to the east, Comets, Carnage, and Zen still trying to make their rotation in, but they've got to worry about STK, who's right on the edge here. Meanwhile, Liberate going to run right on top of Radiance. This is Picado. This fight was eventually going to pop off. I'm kind of surprised to see it pop off this early, as I think maybe one team, I think Liberate maybe have opened up on Elusive, and that
is never the situation you want to be in, because everybody that sits behind you in Picado is going to shoot you anyway. So I'm not really sure how this one's going to play out for either of these teams that are still sat back there.
Dicey situation for sure. Meanwhile, Comets, they do the long wrap around the eastern side, avoiding STK, avoiding Zenith, but now they are pushing into the northern part of the circle, which, as you can see, very, very occupied. Illusion going to take a few shots.
Oh, no.
As they are playing with a sub now. I think one of their... Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
whoa.
Well, there's the sub.
Whoa, was our sub.
There's the sub.
Of old MPL fame. And he has been downed and flushed. So an inauspicious return to the spotlight for Mr. Woe as he gets taken out. This is about to be three teams in Picado with Elusive just on the western edge. And you've got 64 up wild card, Carnage, and Tactical 8 all just kind of looking down onto this. I mean, there's... Oof. This is going to be rough stuff. The only thing that they might have going for them is that all the teams that would be overlooking this might end up shooting at each other. So that's about the one positive.
There's going to be so many people in Picado, though. There's already two teams looking to wrap the west side, and they don't have anywhere to go but crash Picado here. And that's going to be the problem, because I've already said, like, if in this situation, if you're the first team that tries to leave Picado, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no getting away from that. So to add another two, potentially three teams that I saw on the map just briefly, wrapping from north down to west from the power grid, that's going to be really, really ugly to watch.
There you go. You see Luke spotting out Maji from Carnage. Waldo taking out at it. This is all going on inside of Picado, but you also got to keep in mind, chilling, relaxing for a little bit here. Just getting free shots at everybody.
You see 303 actually lighting up Comets in the kill feed, and that's, again, another team we don't want to see dropping a donut in this game. Mystery getting his head ripped off, actually, by Top Dog. Those are some nice shots from Top Dog down from the lower building. Kickstart's got to come up and get the res here in the tower. Oh no, Supernova. He was the one up the top there that was farming. Now he's got a full 303 team, and actually Voxic going to land a spray onto him. Supernova will fall either to the blue. We'll get flushed out here, but
that's a good kill for them, but I mean, now they got to deal with Fabled. The rest of Fabled is already inside circle, and they're in a perfect spot to gatekeep this.
I was just about to say, I'm not sure what value it gets them, because Supernova was the one trolling up the top of that mountain, just sending shots.
Ooh.
Now, actually, some good return fire from Landoon, but I mean, 303 shouldn't be running from this fight. They should be trying to take it in some way, but it looks like they're just gonna bail, and I'm assuming they're gonna die one by one here. There you go. D-Rich is gonna fall to D-Treats. That's the first one down. Sharpshot's actually gonna find Voxic at range, so that just leaves Honey Badger and Landoon.
All of this for Supernova. Unfortunate. 64 shooting, right?
I mean, I'm not entirely sure what happened to any of the other teams in here, but Liberate have managed to get out. Elusive have been here since Circle 2, by the way. So they're just big chilling. They're foaming at the mouth, waiting for somebody to come out of Picardo. But, I mean, I'm not sure how Liberate have been allowed to make this cross. Radiant's now flexing out a little bit. One of the games we saw them do really well the other day.
They're pinning themselves down. Oh, Lush is going to find Batty with a nice little headshot. And gets the flush as well. McCoy has managed to leave. Looks like Waldo has managed to leave as well, but he's got a bunch of friends right around him. And maybe Waldo can do a little sneak attack from behind here. As I don't know if 64 up. There we go. He's going to find one. Going to get traded back about 50 HP. Whoa, Sharpshot going to be shooting him from the backside as well. 64 up, just getting pinned from both directions here. As Waldo going to make the run, try to avoid Sociopath here. If Sociopath hard peeks this when he's not ready, okay, he's going to find him. Good stuff from Sociopath from 64 up. They pick up a kill, which kind of got to figure maybe they could have maybe done a little bit better from the position that they had on the cliffside overlooking Picado rather, but this is what they've got to work with now. Zing gets to find out. Sociopath, the last one up, as Hoshi gets roasted by Fizzle and William. And it is all down to, there he goes.
Yeah, just one player literally just, I mean, being the reason that they die. They just got so caught up there with Waldo kind of counter peeking, well, just head peeking over that ridge. And yeah, it's horrible to see one player. Yeah, one player to just hold off 4 people when they end up dying to the blue wall. Killed from 500 meters away, but McCoy, interestingly enough, did make it down. Yeah, he made it down to the rusty car on the road. I'm
tactical 8 in it.
Just call the whole team by one person. Just Mime's going to be in the middle of the circle. It's fine.
It was a fantastic play. All right, that's all I got to say. Like we had a lot of discussion about possible MVPs, and obviously Relo.
There we go.
There we go. All right,
good
that's
boy.
going to do it for Fabled. So Tactical 8, 3 up, but they've got Carnage behind them. And Carnage is going to have to come in here eventually. And, are they just sending it? They're sending it. Maji and William. Whoa!
Whoa!
He gets thrown a mile away from the vehicle. And William's going to find one.
The pre-nade.
The pre-nade. Okay. Maji. Come there. They did it. They took out all the Tactical 8. Oh, wait. No, Grizzly. I see him. Okay. I'm sorry, chat. I'm tripping. But yes,
Dude,
I'm not sure
that
how
pre-nade from William was actually insane. It got Magi down. Ray's actually going to try and come out here.
No.
Oh, no.
Luke.
Okay.
Luke going to be there with the quick shots. And look at this, actually. Kickstart coming from behind. STK took him by surprise. Got 1 down. Gets 2 down. Uh-oh. STK, you got the circle. This is supposed to be a win for you. Easy. How are you getting roasted by a solo?
Kurt's coming out with a nade.
Oh, okay. There. Well, yeah, he's throwables. Yeah, that's done. Easy.
There you go.
Look, they're only memes because every meme has a little bit of truth behind it, chat. And the SDK plus throwables has got a long and storied history.
He'll watch that back and smile. I guarantee that.
For sure. Well, they will get 1 res off of it at least. They did, unfortunately, lose Alo. But they are still 3 strong. Got a lot of terrain to work with on this northwestern side, or work with on the southern part. I mean, you could see just the tiniest, faintest bit of ridgeline, but they've got Wildcard down there to the south. You can see they are definitely being closely watched here by Shoot to Kill, as Grizzly will find T-Sock. That's going to do it for Elusive going out in 5th place. We're down to our top 4. Oh, Grizzly. He's going to try to hold off Wildcard here. But look at the push.
Oh, my God.
It's a good push from Wildcard. Whoa, okay. Jazza is on point today. That's going to be Grizzly getting taken out. Wildcard manages to get 2 across the street, which was all.
And unfortunately, that's...
Oh, Profi.
Oh, Profi.
Jazza, no. Okay, Mime.
Nice.
We'll clutch that one out as Sonics make short work of the remaining duo of Wildcard. And here we are yet again.
that he's up here.
All he's got is one molly, though. He's going to come up over the top. He'll find Luke 12. Unfortunately, Civ will drop behind the rock and the vehicle, so Profi can't get a quick 2. Civ going to stay alive for right now. Here comes the flashbang. But now SDK knows they're in trouble. Okay, Purdy's going to go down to a grenade from Shrimzy. Shrimzy coming up and with the push right on time with Profi. Perfectly timed by Sonics. And STK just gets wrapped on. Civ will find one. Civ will find a flush, but he won't get the last kill. Sonics coming in again, increasing their... I feel like ever since that day we saw Shoot to Kill just blind sending it down the road in the middle of Impala, you've just...
They've never been the same since.
Something about it has thrown you off. I'm not sure. But hey, look, the analyst desk touched on it. We've got, I guess, give or take 5 teams that are fighting for this final spot, right? Yeah. 303 with 130, Comets with 127, Carnage with 125. And then Snow Patrol with 107 has a shot here. And, oh my god. Okay. Well, you didn't get an Impala Circle.
Well, I didn't get an Impala Circle.
There you go. Your boy, back off. There you go. Yeah, this all sprung up because of Wildcard just taking some long-range shots at a transitioning Sonics. Had no idea that Snow Patrol were pushing up on foot behind him. And look at that. They're going to get the res, but immediately goes down again. Pentalol now on his second knock. Jazza, you can still see below 50% health. And Mitchy Boy, oh, that's a good reload. Okay, he's going to confirm the kill. That's good. Right off the bat. Make sure you pick up that point. Snow Patrol still in a good spot here. This is all going on. You can see inside the circle. Doesn't look like anybody is going to be making their way into this part of the map anytime soon. Meanwhile, Radiance, they find themselves trading back and forth with 303 up near Impala. And 303, oh, they're going to get one. They needed that. But they lose Landoon. So a trade out coming on here as a 303. And look at this. You can see that little bit of green off in the distance. That's Los. Is right in between Honey Badger and Voxic, it looks like. So Radiance somehow got caught very, very split up here. And Los now on an island. He could sneak up, and he's going to find an opening shot on the Honey Badger. Honey Badger, though, going to trade it right back, and Honey Badger wins the 1v1, and that is huge for 303. And Radiance now down to 2.
Yeah, unfortunate to lose out on that 1v1. Radiance, again, not to slight them, this doesn't put a dampener at all on their performance so far, but maybe just biting off a bit more they can chew. They're extremely split there. Voxic's actually going to find Waldo at distance, and now McCoy, the last one up for Radiance. This circle pulling all the way back over to the east. That's a fantastic shift for Elusive, actually.
That is extremely spicy. Great shift for Elusive. So far, so good for 303 as far as holding on to their spot in the top 16. As we see, Snow Patrol is doing everything they can. Looks like Wildcard managed to get the duo away and maybe trade out a down theirs. 303. They're going to run into STK. Oh, no. 303 was looking great. They had the North. They had picked off 3 of Radiance. And now STK.
Maybe hanging around a bit too long.
Possibly. Maybe trying to go for that last kill onto McCoy and ends up costing him. Meanwhile, Comets, we've been looking at them. They're just south of Elusive in the center of the circle. They've got Liberate just off to their west. Meanwhile, Carnage on the north side. They've just got 2 up. They've got a free run into Puerto if they want and survive. I'm more concerned about Carnage, who's coming in from the south, and they've got literally everybody in front of them. Sonics, Fabled, Liberate, Clueless, Illusion, and they're making a run for the beach here. I'm not sure I'm not sure if that's the play. I mean, I would not be at all surprised if a lot of the players in this lobby are not super familiar with this terrain down here.
Yeah, well, purely because we don't see a lot of circles coming down here.
What are you doing?
I'm glad we didn't catch that one on camera. But,
I think they're out in the blue. They're out in the blue. They got caught up in a fight in Pozo and just never made
Pozo?
their way back in. Yep. They're in Chumacera right now. Slowly.
Okay, well, moving swiftly on.
Swiftly on indeed. Well, 303 Voxic has managed to make his way into the north side of Puerto, but he's got Wildcard just on top of him. You can see Sonic's in a great position, overlooking everything. Meanwhile, Snow Patrol still on a rampage. They're going to run right into Fabled. And Snow Patrol has a compound. Fabled has the ridges. This is a...
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, that's not how you want to start things.
No, Snow Patrol falling and 303 falling in the kill feed at the same time. Obviously, we're on board here with the Fabled fight with Snow Patrol.
Oh,
I think this could be the end of their hopes of making it to the grand finals here.
Fabled just absolutely ripped them. They had a complete surround going on, and Snow Patrol had no clue. And they get destroyed. They've got one left up, and I'm not sure who it is. I think it might be Crawfresh. As you can see, he's just kind of in the south there. And yep, there he goes. He's going to get spotted out by Sonics and finished off. So there goes Snow Patrol. Their game is done. They will be in, and Illusion is kind of gatekeeping them.
Yeah, Icetech actually picking up a kill onto Aceman. Not sure how Icetech managed to tuck himself underneath the compound there. Mime going to come over here, try and pick it. Icetech actually going to put him down. Mime will fall as well. Icetech gets himself 2. Profi comes along with the Groza. He doesn't lose those. Profi will finally clean up the Liberate Lurker on the edge of the compound there. But great work from Icetech there.
Yeah.
Again, no reason for Mime to come and peek that solo. He didn't need to take a 1v1 there. Maybe that's a little bit of an ego chow. Not that it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things, but I'm not sure about why. Crash onto Illusion here. Yeah, this is fantastic for them if they can turn this over. They need to get it ended quickly, though. Top Dog going to get Matchy down.
Oh, no.
Ripper and Zraygod stuck on the outside. It's just Top Dog left, so in a 1v2 situation, he's already found one. See if he can find anything else here. The nades do come in. Doesn't do a lot of damage to Top Dog. He's still at 64 HP.
Problem for Carnage is that this is getting overseen by Team Clueless, and they're just popping down here, and that's kind of one of the reasons why the man who rushed in got taken out so quickly, as he was brought low by a couple of shots as he was trying to make his way in. Here we go, the push coming in from the duo. They'll get, okay, good, well done, well done. Free Me Please goes down as well. Illusion is taken out, and Zraygod, looks like Carnage is still... Delta?
Okay.
I guess just run out in the street and get a free kill onto Greg Shot.
I mean, this is what they need to do. They need to split up and pick up these scrappy points if they want to secure their position.
He can flush that.
It.
There
Please.
You go. Oh, no. Tanaka going to find the headshot, and Delta going to go ahead and bleed out to the blue. I mean, look, they need the points. They need all the points they can get. So sacrificing Delta, I get it. You know, he got the down.
Sonic's losing another to just a rat. And just tucked behind a rock here. Unfortunately, Profi will fall. We know earlier he had the Groza. Ripper, actually, I think just jumped into a vehicle that had no gas. So he might actually be stuck out there at that compound. He's going to opt to pick another one. That circle again, just...
Innate with the high ground. This could be bad. This could be bad. Oh, no. Zraygod immediately going to get spotted out by T-Sock with a quick flush. 3 kills for Carnage. I don't think that's going to be enough to do it unless Comets gets pushed here before they get 8th.
All I was going to say is that the only thing Carnage have going for them is that Comets are sat in the middle of the circle and they're not going to be being fed kills. Exactly. So the longer Carnage stay alive and losing one more member there, and it's just Ripper going to be up here. That, I think, is... I mean, it's tricky. But he can't move up onto the hill. Innate's already split up the hill from Elusive, so they have the information on this. I don't see any way of him getting out of this.
You can see your live leaderboard on the left there. 303 still holding on to 15th place. Carnage has jumped up to 16th by 1 point. On the north side of this, meanwhile, Voxic staying alive and just out of the purview of STK. He needs this. He needs to get as many placement points as he can. Roth going to try to make a push, but Sub-Zero going to spot him out. Look at him just snaking on the side here. Victor going to take a few shots, but immediately get laid low. Kickstart goes down as well. Comet's turning things around here. Mystery is going to find V-Treats.
Oh, no.
303 has gone down. Voxic has been spotted out by Alo. The push still coming out from Zenith here. 2 down for Comets. 2 down for Zenith. Is Victor going to try to hold off the push from Leda? Is STK, STK coming from the south side, saving the day. They get the down into Leda, and they're going to force Mystery and Kickstart to push away from this. And Comets gets to hold on.
As I said, the problem being now we're into the placement point territory, so anybody that goes out now will be jumping. So the longer Carnage stays alive and Comets don't get any more kills, it stays the same. It stays exactly the same, Power.
Carnage, you can see 4 points shy of 303. And 303 is out.
Oh, no.
Still surrounded by Elusive. He's going to find one.
Oh.
He'll get the down on a T-Sock. Can he get the flush as well? Not going for the flush. Okay, he's going to get the flush. Pistola time. I think here's the shots for Team Clueless. They're coming over the top.
If Clueless wipe Elusive here, that's going to...
Said right on their backs. And Ripper has to make a move now. He's going to wrap around. Will any of the Elusive players spot him? He takes a little bit of blue damage. Breaks down to half health. And no, and 8 is going to spot him out. Now Carnage has 16th by 1 point. It is all down to Comets. Can they survive a little bit longer? Can anybody else get taken out? And here we go. This could be placement points picked up.
Yeah,
Nate gets spotted out.
If Elusive fall here, Comets get the placement point, obviously, for another team being eliminated, and that's heartbreaking for it to be decided like this.
So close. They haven't spotted him out just yet. But look at this. Clueless right on top of it as well. Fizzle going to try to survive as long as he can. And there you go. Elusive will go out. And I believe that might guarantee things here for Comets no matter what happens at this point. Just off of placement points as Tactical 8 is eliminated as well. So Comets now earn a top 5 spot. Here they are wrapping onto Team Clueless right now with a nice shot from Purdy on a Pistola. Meanwhile, Zenith trying to stay alive here. You can see them on your live leaderboard. Comets have earned that 16th spot. And here we go. Luke will find 20 FPS. Pistola time will get spotted out by Guabi from Liberate. And Team Clueless starts to fall apart here. A 23rd spot for them. Overall, as they will be setting up for the relegations battle. Ooh, Nitrogen will find Alo, though. And get the flush as well.
Yeah, Zenith fall as well in pretty much the same breath, Power. So that'll be Zenith out over on this side. You can see the cluster of players here. Look, everybody just stacked up on jump. STK have found a little crevice. They're going to double peek on. Uncivil will get Guabi down. And the flush. Luke 12 spots out the last member. Lands the headshot initially, but can't follow up on that damage just yet.
9 kills for SDK already. They've been having themselves quite a game. And looks like they might try to smoke off Purdy. Nope, Nitrogen going to go ahead and finish that off. As STK does find Lush. And there goes Liberate, finishing in 4th place.
They could do this.
We will see them in the grand finals. Team Clueless, Nitrogen trying to stay alive for a little bit longer, but STK, you can see the duo, they're rapping. They want this. They want to finish this guy out. They know that Comets has the compound. They just want to make sure that they take out everybody else from range. Uncivil will get the kill onto Nitrogen, and now it is the 2v3.
I think all STK needs
these teams, and I am
Yaxley.
Very excited for it. Okay, Yax.
Oh, my.
Oh, the Molly.
Yaxley actually got all the way down there. Luke needs to go for that flush. He's on fire. Oh, no, Luke. Oh, no.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Not like this.
Beautiful, beautiful Molly. But look at this. Yeah, as you said, he needs to get that flush, I think, to guarantee that they come out on top. He's throwing down the smokes, trying to survive. I think he realizes that. You look at me. He's going for the flush. He's going to get it.
There we go.
And now he immediately gets traded out. Comets will come in first place with 4 kills.
Oh, my God.
Securing their spot